Hello and welcome to this demonstration of the Ubersmith Billing Management System. My name is Boo Van Alstein and I'm the head of product here at Ubersmith. Today I'll be taking you through just a few of the features in our system. We're starting off by looking at our Sales Manager dashboard. This page gives us an at-a-glance view of our current sales opportunities. For today's demo, I'm going to focus on a particular one of these sales as we take it through the full quote-to-cash process in just a couple of minutes. This brings us to the profile page of the lead we have in our Sales Manager. A lead is the person or business you hope to land as a client. Even before they take that step, Ubersmith can help ensure that you're giving them the best level of service. Leads can be assigned to a salesperson, account manager and can define their own list of contacts authorized to discuss the account with your team. Once that is done, Ubersmith will automatically associate any incoming tickets with his account. Here we have the list of quotes associated with this lead. For each one, you can see the status, when it was last updated, the admin user it's currently assigned to, and the expected recurring and non-recurring revenue from the potential sale. One of these has already expired without being signed. The other is in a draft status, which means our sales team is still putting it together. Let's take a closer look. Here we can see the full details of our quote. This particular one is for a hardware deployment in our New York City facility. We can see that it was created and last updated on September 2nd, and that the resulting contract will have a 12-month term. Each quote can be given an expiration date, after which, if the client has not signed the contract, the offer becomes no longer available. If we scroll to the bottom of the page, we can see that one service item has already been added to the quote, a full cabinet of co-location space. We're going to take this opportunity to add a second service to this quote. With this pop-up window, we can specify the details of our secondary service. For this quote, I'm going to add a bandwidth commitment to go with their cabinet. You'll notice that when I select the service plan from the pull-down, the page automatically updates with that plan's default pricing and details. If need be, from here, I can override any of the details to provide my customer and lead with a truly customized quote that will help land the sale. Clicking Save adds it to the quote. We can see now that the bandwidth service has been added to the details of the quote. With that, my quote is nearly ready to go to the client to be signed, but first it needs to be reviewed and approved by the appropriate managers. If I were a frontline salesperson, I could click Request Approval to have them notified and to do so. In the interest of time for this demo, I'm simply going to approve it myself to move things along. With that simple change, we're ready for the client to review and sign the quote. You can see now that the status has been changed from draft to an open quote. If I click this link, we can see what the client will see. Here we see the fully constructed contract ready for the client to sign. The first page of every contract breaks down the services within it and the recurring and non-recurring costs. Below that, we have the contents of the included master service agreement and the signatory page at the very end. Now I'll act as the client, having reviewed the proposed contract and confirmed my contact and payment details on the left side. I'm ready to digitally sign. Immediately upon being signed by the client, the page reloads and displays the final completed contract. If we scroll to the signatory page, we can see it has been filled in with the client's information. Additionally, at the bottom of each page of the contract is a note listing the date, time, and IP address of the person who signed it. If we jump back to the quote details page, we can also see the update reflected here. The status of the quote has been updated, and the date and timestamp of the signature is displayed as well. From this point on, a copy of the completed contract will always be available here. In addition to generating the final contract, Ubersmith has also generated an order for this quote in the Order Manager. Let's go there to process it the rest of the way. This is the details page for the order that was automatically generated when the quote was signed. You can see that all of the relevant client and service information has already been filled in for us just as we originally defined it. From here, it is simply a matter of moving the new order through our provisioning process. For the purposes of today's demo, I've kept our process to just the basics, but a real business's order queue would be fully customized with all the steps and processes for their own workflow. From here, I'll go ahead and process the order one step at a time. First, we'll provision the client. This converts the sales lead into a full-fledged client account. Second, we'll add the services to the client's account. This creates the billing items for the service in our contract. Finally, we will generate their initial invoice. Because the client submitted a credit card with their contract signature, Ubersmith has already completed the charge for their first month. If we move to the client's profile, we'll be able to see our finished product. Here we have our newly created client account, complete with the customized services we saw in our quote and an initial paid invoice that we generated as part of our order flow. Quote to cash, just a small portion of Ubersmith's full feature set. We invite you to find out more at our website, ubersmith.com, or on our Twitter account, @Ubersmith. Thank you for joining us. We wish you good luck and good health in the future.